We are the Office Blokes. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Office Bloke Daz.
That's it. All I've got to say
That's
about
all you
that.
need to know.
That's all you need to.
Yeah.
Most people know.
We thought we'd jump on and just do a little mini catch up. I know we did. We used to do the Patreon podcasts, and this is kind of a.
Yeah.
I've seen a few comments of people saying they actually miss the Patreon podcasts, which were just 15 minutes of us not planning anything and just talking
about current
absolute
affairs.
nonsense.
Probably about an hour and 15, wasn't it?
Talking about current affairs, wasn't it?
It was
Yeah.
mainly, really. Yeah, just things that were in the news at the time.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
The three of us have three different lives, the way we live our lives, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
So when we start like to discuss topics, you know, obviously you've got young children, Dave, and then
Yep.
Mike's got like
Older children.
yeah.
Well, good adults.
Yeah.
Young adults, really, yeah. Guess so.
And I've got similar older children, grandchildren.
Yeah.
Yeah,
grandchildren sort of thing. So very
grandchildren,
different sort of lifestyles, the way we live our lives on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, true.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of how we live our lives on a day-to-day basis, I went to see Lorna Shaw on Saturday.
Who are they?
We've reacted to Lorna Shaw.
I know, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Will Ramos.
Winding him up.
Oh, sure.
Who does he play for?
It was absolutely unbelievable. Those vocals we've heard when
Yeah.
we've reacted to him, Will Ramos.
Yeah.
At the start of the gig, he went, I've got a bit of a cold, like I'm not that well, but the show must go on.
Yeah.
And it was the most unbelievable vocal performance I've ever seen in my whole life.
Yeah.
It was mind-boggling.
Where was that?
At the Academy One.
Right.
So it's a few thousand people there.
Yeah.
Absolutely huge. Pyrotechnics on stage, smoke machines.
Full
It was
lot.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
It really was.
Nice.
But I got I was telling Mike this morning when I came in moaning, I got one of my ribs fractured.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the mosh pit.
Someone punching the rib?
An elbow.
Okay, elbow.
It was a back elbow.
Stupid, aren't they? What's wrong with him?
It's so painful
back
today.
elbow.
It really is. No,
Would that be a forward elbow or a back elbow?
well, the guy was going backwards and spun round.
But that's
like
just
that
an elbow,
and
isn't it? You don't throw your elbow forward, do you? It's just an elbow.
Fighters
Yeah.
can throw elbows, can't
Yeah,
they?
I guess so, going that way like that, yeah.
But yeah, it's like we knew we'd had a load of beers and stuff, and then at a metal gig we've always been the same. Like
Yeah.
I'm there with my bro, and as soon as we see it starts getting a bit lively, it's hard not to just jump in. But it was violent.
Yeah.
It was more violent than a lot of metal gigs I've been to before. A lot of people were bloody and bruised, and like my bro's got sort of big black bruises all along his ribs where he's been digged and stuff. And there was a lot of, like, say, bloody noses, cut eyes.
Yeah.
Makes you laugh though, don't they? You know, bro's got bruised to high heaven, he's cracked ribs and all sorts.
Yeah.
Did you have a good time? Oh, yeah, it's brilliant. What's wrong with him?
It was absolutely amazing, but
What is wrong with these people?
I mean, I'm not fit enough nowadays to be in a pit. So it's definitely a young man's game.
Yeah,
and if
I
you're
bet
gonna
it is,
be, if you're gonna be late 30s, you've got to be in shape. You really have. Like it's hard work. But yeah, some guy just spun round, put everything into it. And
Obviously knew who you were.
well, probably yeah.
Gonna get him.
Clocked me up there,
Just
but
ginger
it was
prick
like
here. Watch, boom.
it was like the bone of his elbow perfectly caught a bone here, and as soon as it hit, I was like, no.
Bone on bone.
Just a bit of bone on bone action at a metal gig. But absolutely fucking brutal. I managed to convince myself I'd be all right and stayed in the pit for one more song, and then I just walked off and had to stand at the bar for the rest of it. And I was like, just felt, you know, even
Best
when you're
place
full
to
of
be.
beer and you can feel something getting more painful gradually.
Yeah.
That's such a bad sign. But amazing gig.
Yeah.
And afterwards, we bumped into Joe
Joe.
that did our live stream, and he's an Office Blokes
Yeah,
fan.
nice
I think I saw he was at a concert on his. I'm following him on Instagram. Or
He goes
one of
to
the-
quite a few.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
We had a good chat about
Yeah.
it. And then I've got a mate that works in Brewdog, which is just down
Yeah.
the road.
Yeah.
He does the brewery tours and stuff. He's a resident beer expert.
Right.
And I had a spare ticket because Ash was looking after the kids, so I could go. And I gave him the spare ticket. So after the gig, it ended up being me, my mate Kyle, Joe, and my bro having a bit of a after hours in Brewdog. And it was
Nice.
good.
Yeah.
It was really good, in fact, apart from the fact that when we went to get the Met home,
All sat there going, oh.
Yeah.
it was just me and my
Good,
bro.
so good.
Bruised and battered.
It was just me and my bro that were in pain like that. But tried to get the Met back to Alty so I could get a taxi from there. We forgot it's Christmas party season, isn't it?
Yeah.
They cancelled all the Mets because there was a little bit of snow. So we're stuck on a platform. We looked at the price for an Uber to get from St. Peter's Square in Manchester to Altrincham, 80 quid, and you couldn't even get one. It just kept spinning and spinning
Really?
and spinning and
Unbelievable.
spinning. And luckily, Ash had given me her flat keys before I left. And she went, just in case you get stuck, take the keys and let yourself into my flat in Withington. So we were like, we're going to have to. We've got no choice. Can't get a taxi to Withington because there's no taxis.
Get the train from Piccadilly.
There's no trains. There was nothing.
Well, the trains were on strike at weekend, weren't they?
At this point,
Really?
everything was done. Talking like 12:30, 1 in the morning at this point.
No
as
black
well.
cabs, nothing.
All the black cabs had the lights off and people in because Christmas party season.
Yeah.
Everything was taken. So my bro went, let's get those bikes. You know, the bikes that you can hire.
Yeah.
Absolute nightmare. It took me half an hour to download the app and actually managed to unlock one. And in that time, my bro managed to do it. And he's riding round in circles in the snow like, these are great, these.
You could have just walked it in that time, probably.
Oh, it's a good 4 or 5 miles, I think, to get from St. Peter's Square up to her flat.
Yeah.
Finally managed to get a bike, and it was like -degrees and snowing. And riding a bike that far.
That's probably more why the more so than Chris, because I was in town yesterday and I went straight into a cab, got home.
Really?
Yeah.
It'll be the
traffic was horrendous, but straight in and straight home.
Yeah.
It'll be the Christmas parties.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
But then we managed to ride back, and then when we got to her flat, we went, right, what do we do with the bikes? And we looked on the app, and it says you've cycled outside of the zone. You've got to get back in the zone. And it's
You now bought the bike.
Yeah. So the zone,
300 quid later.
the zone was a mile back towards town. Wow. So we had to ride back towards town to find little places where you can lock the bikes up, and they were full. So then you've got to go to the next set where you can lock bikes up, hope that there's one free.
Was this like 2 in the morning or something?
By this point, it was about 2:30, 3.
That's a bit dodgy around there at that time of the day.
Yeah, especially.
I was like,
that's rush home way, innit? You're talking.
Yeah. I was like, I was going on. I was fucking moaning. I was shouting at the sky because it was snowing at the same time. And finally managed to lock the bikes
Did you have your sun cream on?
Get a bit of moonburn. But my bro's phone died as he locked his bike up. And because you can't press end ride on his phone because it died, it charged him the full thing as if he ditched the bike. So he got charged 30 quid as if you'd chucked the bike in a canal or whatever. I got charged £2.44 for all that. So it's nothing really, but it's stupid because you can't ride to where you want to go.
Yeah.
You've got to hope that there's somewhere to lock the bike up. But then as soon as we managed to lock the bikes up, my bro just went, I need a kebab. And I'm like, I need to go to fucking sleep. Because I had my son's early birthday party yesterday, and I had to get home. I had to be home at 8 in the morning.
One of them dads.
Oh, I don't want. I don't want to be one of them dads. That's why I booked a taxi for 7:20, and like when we got in, I was like, "You're up at 7," which my bro's an early riser anyway. He's great at that, and I managed to get home for 5 to 8, back to Northwich, in bed for 5 minutes before the kids woke up. It was brutal. It was absolutely
Is that how long Ash normally expects you to be in there for? Is it 5 minutes?
I don't know. It was really fun. It was a great night, but what an ordeal!
Yeah.
Like, especially when I was hurting so much as well.
Man, that
right?
sounds
The
like
things
it's
were freezing.
nightmare.
Absolute grim. That
Yeah,
was
it
done.
does, yeah.
It's on the tram station for God knows how long in the freezing cold.
We were
weather.
at the tram.
No trams, no taxis.
There was a tram to Manchester Airport that we were waiting for because all the Alti ones had been cancelled.
Yeah.
So we thought if we can at least get to the airport, we're likely to get a taxi from there, and it'll be a bit cheaper. And 5 minutes, and then it just disappeared off the board and was never talked about again. They obviously cancelled it.
They normally put like replacement buses on when they cancel the
Well, they should
tram.
do.
Nothing.
Because just saying today,
There's no communication. There's nothing. It's just
if you've got 1,000 people jumping on tram to town, they want to
Just
get
fucking
home,
nicked
so-
a tram.
the way I felt. I was ready to like, carjack someone and drive back. I was fuming. But it was what a mess, especially this time of year where all the Christmas do's are going on in town. There should be extra trams. They should be running later. The trains should be on.
Yeah.
It's just a mess.
Yeah.
You know, to think Manchester's a huge city that's got a lot of
I suppose with no
infrastructure.
trams as well, it's going to be even harder to get a taxi, isn't it? 'Cause
I think
everyone's
that's
gonna be
part of it.
thinking the same, aren't they?
Coming out of football yesterday, it was the same. Fucking the queue for the trams was ridiculous. I don't know what happened. Yeah. I don't know what happened. But even when I come out, normally it's a bit quiet. I normally stay behind.
Yeah.
For an hour or so.
Yeah, it can be a bit like that on Sundays.
Yeah, but yesterday was like even when I come out, it's busy as fuck.
Yeah.
I jump straight in the car, straight in the black cab.
Most days, Saturdays, they have the normal service, but it's every like 6 minutes anyway, no matter what anyway. But obviously on Sunday, they don't run quite as many, so I think
No.
But that sounds a disaster, that. Shite.
it's terrible, isn't it? It's
the
put a
gig
damper on your evening.
The gig itself was amazing. If I didn't have to if I wasn't stressing about getting up early enough to get back home to do presents with Oscar and stuff,
Yeah.
I could have seen the adventure side of it a bit and been like, this is so absurd, it's funny.
Yeah.
But because I was stressing, I was like, this isn't fucking funny. And it was so cold riding the bikes back. I didn't have a coat either.
Jeez.
And it was free,
Wow.
like fingers. It's one of them where you just got to swap pocket and ride one-handed for ages and
Yeah.
swap pocket and swap pocket. People trying to knock you off.
Wow.
Oh, it was ridiculous.
It sounds an absolute nightmare.
Do you have your Lycra underneath it though?
I always wear Lycra all the time. Under Lycra, I call
Yeah,
it,
like
just in
Ineos
case.
fucking logoed
Yeah,
up fucking
yeah,
Lycra.
sponsors.
Yeah.
Everyone is getting little caps on.
I want a little cap.
A happy little cap. Yeah, it was just the gig was great though. Lorna Shore, I know we've reacted to him and
We have,
seen
yeah.
how
Yeah, yeah.
ridiculous they
Yeah.
actually
Yeah,
are,
they're very
what
good.
they do. Even as kind of non-metal fans, I think if you two would have gone and you would have stood there watching it, you would have been like, "That's unbelievable."
Yeah.
How someone can make noises like
Yeah,
that is just ridiculous. So good. One of the best bands I've watched in years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. It's the same lineup as when we reacted to him.
The last time we reacted to him, I think the only person that had changed was the vocalist.
Right.
Because remember, the vocalist,
Did he
the
get
first one
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
got cancelled and got kicked out of the band.
Yeah, I remember.
And then it was a guy called Will Ramos that's kind of got that wavy hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We've
I remember
reacted
that.
to
I
him,
remember that
definitely.
one. Yeah. No, we did.
So talented. Absolutely
Was it full, the venue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's packed, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know what it holds, the Academy one. It's at least a couple of
I
thousand.
think it's 2, 3, 4,000, is it? Academy one, I think.
But
Something like
it
that.
had been sold out for months.
Yeah.
So they could have played a bigger venue.
Who's
They could have done
supporting?
the Apollo.
Anyone you know?
A band called Rivers of Nile that I've never heard before in my life. Unbelievable. Instant convert watching them live.
Yeah.
They were amazing. A Manchester band called Ingested, who I missed because we were in the pub chatting shit. But I've seen them before and they're unbelievable.
Yeah.
They seem to be Manchester's rollout. They're a slam band.
Right.
And they seem to be Manchester's rollout band for when big people come and tour.
right.
Yeah.
They get them
They
to
do a lot
play.
of supporting.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Awesome though.
How far do people travel to come and watch something like that? Is it like just is it full of locals or is it full of like people travel from like?
There's a lot of people, obviously there'll be a lot of locals, but I think people are travelling from as far as like, I don't know, 50, 60 miles.
Any overseas
something
like,
that.
is there anything like people travel overseas?
I mean, there could be.
Yeah.
If you were going to come from overseas and watch them anywhere, I think Manchester would be the best
Right.
place to watch a band like that because the crowds are just crazy.
Do you think Manchester's just getting too busy now
Too busy?
for the size of it?
I don't know, really.
Go to Piccadilly Gardens and it's definitely too busy.
Isn't it?
Like,
There's
yeah,
markets
with the
on at the
markets
moment,
on.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, in that sense.
And
I
that new
get what you mean.
Popeye's chicken as well. We tried to
Yeah.
go in Popeye's chicken
Yeah.
and it was like, no chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lively place. I mean, you do want it full of people, don't you?
Yeah.
You know, you don't want it half empty of a
No,
weekend
no,
because
of
it's
course,
absolutely
yeah.
terrible, isn't it?
No, I
But
get that. I'm just saying, do you think it's getting too busy though? Because it's like
I know what you mean with the,
finally loads of students coming in and
Yeah.
that's grown
Yeah.
massively.
just
and a lot of-
more people living there all
Yeah,
every
the
single year. There's more and
Houses,
more
the new houses, the new buildings that have gone up.
new ones
Have
going
you-
up all the time.
Have you been in the Brewdog bar?
Yeah.
It's so big, but it's such a cool place.
Yeah.
They actually brew the beer in the bar.
I think I've been in that. Where is it? Oxford Road.
Oxford Road, yeah,
Right,
it's
okay.
well worth going in. Great atmosphere,
The one-
great
the
service.
Brewdog I've been in is not on Oxford Road though.
Deansgate,
It's
the
on, it's just outside on I don't know where the Peaky Blinders is and all that. It's
Oh,
on
yeah.
that road.
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
that road
Oh,
called?
yeah.
I can't. I've been in that one as well.
Yeah, that's the only one I've been in.
This one is halfway up Oxford Road. It's on 2 floors.
Yeah.
Absolutely massive.
It's the same as the one. It's the same as the one that's facing the Manchester Central, whatever it's called now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But it's
that's
well
2
worth
floors
a
as
go.
well. Yeah,
But because of its location in town, it's a pre-drinks place.
right.
So it's
Yeah.
really busy
Yeah.
before gigs, before sports things.
Yeah.
You get to like 9, 10, 11 in the evening, it quietens down to a nice level where it's just consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and it's great service, great atmosphere. Definitely worth a go.
Yeah.
Beer's good. It's not too expensive either,
Yeah.
actually, you know, for town prices.
Yeah,
But if you find yourself in town going to a gig,
Yeah.
I think that's the place
Yeah,
to
I
go
can't, I
for a
can't
gig
believe
now.
I missed that one. How
I
far down is
normally
it?
head Northern Quarter now.
Yeah.
It's halfway between, if you get off at St. Peter's and you go into the Academy,
Yeah.
it's probably halfway.
Right.
Right, okay.
So it's a good spot if you're
Yeah.
walking up to a gig.
Now, I can't believe I missed that one.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
at Northern Quarter and Coates now.
Yeah.
It's like
Northern
pretty
Quarter's
smart,
pretty
smart
good there,
round
isn't
there.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Some nice bars up there.
smartened
and
up round there a lot. Yeah, especially on
Yeah.
the canal and all that. It's really good.
It was full of bagheads when I used to live there.
Yeah, it's
so I
changed.
literally lived next to the Northern Quarter.
It's trendy now. It's all trendy and like smart, and especially
Yeah.
Ancoats. Ancoats
Yeah,
has
it's
done
been
really
developed.
smart.
It's been done really well, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Lots of new apartments and stuff like that.
Really
It's
smart,
bring you more money in, isn't it? I'm guessing so.
Yeah, I didn't do anything this week. I went to the match, but fucking other than that, it was freezing. too
Yeah.
cold.
Same here.
So I just
yeah.
went out,
Makes it a
fucking
bit
not doing
miserable,
anything.
hasn't it? So, yeah, just a bit of sport stuff like that. So
So I did. Came to work Saturday. Did a bit of work Saturday because I just got back from the US.
Yeah.
So I think I was catching up.
On a few things.
Catching up on loads of stuff, and then
Nice.
just started. I said to Gayney, "Do you want to go out?" And she's like, "No." Looking freezing. It
It's a
started
good-
snowing on the way
It's not
home.
the same, is it, when it's with this crappy outside? You just think,
It's a great weekend for staying at home and staying
Yeah.
warm in
Yeah.
it and just
Oh,
having
yeah.
a beer and watching something
Yeah.
and stuff. It's
Yeah.
perfect for that.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I went to the wine shop and the guy's carrying the wine out with me, and he gets talking about football and he's going on and it's fucking snow's coming down. The flakes are about this big.
Yeah.
And I'm like, mate, as much as I want to talk to you, I'm fucking freezing. I'm off. Stick it in the car. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank God for alcohol because I think I would have frozen to death on the way
Yeah.
home.
Hey.
I know it thins your blood and makes you colder, doesn't it? But it
It
makes
does.
you feel warmer when you've had a few beers.
Yeah.
But it's proper cold. It was in the minus numbers on Saturday night.
Yeah.
When we
it
were
was.
riding those bikes, it was about -3.
Yeah.
Something like that, and slushy on the roads and stuff. And it was like,
no jacket on or anything.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
And it was windy as well. It was cold.
it was grim. It was like, it's one of those things that was, even my bro was saying it at the time, he was like, this is that bad that you're going to be laughing about it in a couple of days. And I was like, fuck off.
With your bruised ribs.
Oh, it's bad. Yeah, I mean, I've fractured ribs a few times, so I know the feeling and I know what it's like. You just got to get on with your life.
Yeah,
Shallow
what can you
breaths
do?
for a
Yeah.
couple of weeks.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, it's all
Good.
It's all part
Yeah,
of the fun,
cool.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
But yeah, I mean, as far as the office blokes are going, we have been trying some new things, haven't we?
We have. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know people are-
diversifying slightly.
People are here for the reactions, and we're hoping to get back to it.
Which we will.
It
eventually.
seems like the weather related stuff. We've been aware of, like the Beasleys have had an issue with this. It seems like the same stuff.
Yeah.
Lav Luca has
Yeah.
got issues with the same stuff. It doesn't seem like the people that the issue is with are responding to anyone.
No, we
It
didn't get
seems
a reply.
like
I
it's-
wrote some as well. We didn't get a reply.
Yeah.
I think it is what it is. They've had, because I think a lot of people, reactors, have been affected by it, haven't they? So
Yeah, huge. And we sort of did a lot of research into it, didn't we? And found out that there's been a court case against a load of YouTubers, and I think all of the strikes coincide with the fact that a court case had just ended.
Yeah.
So I guess they were waiting for the outcome of that,
Yeah.
and then have just like laid
looks
the
like
hammer
it,
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is it's a real shame. I mean, I understand people blocking stuff because you don't want people sharing it.
But that's
or-
enough, isn't it? Is a block is
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, like
You know?
other people have said, if people don't want to use the footage or anything like that, we'd take videos down straight away. wouldn't we?
Absolutely, I think most
Simple as
reactors
that.
would. To be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Don't feel entitled to it in any
The
way.
way forward, though, as well, is original content of our own. And
Yeah.
I think that's what
Yeah.
we work towards.
Yeah,
And develop some new stuff, which
That's
you
what we're going to
hopefully
try,
like.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely give it a go. So
Yeah.
it's what we're trying to do. We are still reacting to stuff over on Patreon, and in fact, we've got Donut Operator's new video coming up. Not on this video, but for us, in a minute we're going to react to it and straight over to Patreon.
yeah, a couple of people have just mentioned on Patreon about doing a bit more donut operating.
Yeah.
I thought, yeah, absolutely. Why not? Get a
Like
bit more
donut.
content on there. So
It's weird because I can actually watch YouTube at home at the moment because I'm that sick of YouTube by the time I get home because we react to all the good videos.
Yeah.
That now I actually a couple of times I've gone home and watched Donut Operator on my TV when I've been chilling.
Yeah, I don't usually sort of like engage in social media on a massive scale. And this weekend, because I wasn't doing anything, I thought I'll just have a read on social media. And I was thinking, God, the world's gone mad.
It has.
The world's gone proper mad. I'm sat there laughing my head off and I'm thinking, people just get involved in shit that doesn't concern them.
Yeah.
I'm like, why does it bother you?
I think because
Did you see there was a protest going on in Manchester this weekend? I don't know if you've seen this, but it was a massive protest going on in Manchester, and they arrested a guy at the protest.
Right.
So they got him on the floor, and they're all sort of like roughing him up a little bit and handcuffing him and getting him in the van. And they get him in the van, and all the protesters surround the van, and they were not leaving until the fucking guy gets de-arrested.
yeah.
Or unarrested, what do you call it? De-arrested,
Yeah,
I guess.
I
Isn't
I
it?
think it is
Yeah,
de-arrested
I think it is.
actually. Yeah.
So the
It's a
guy
weird
gets.
word.
So eventually, they let the guy go. And I'm like, great policing, lads.
You roughed him up and then let him. Did they let him go because of peer pressure from the
Yeah.
mob?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then you can't justify roughing him up.
No, they didn't rough him up, like beat him up.
No,
just
no,
sort of
but
threw him to
like-
the floor and.
Is he struggling a bit, sort of
No,
thing?
it's
So-
kind of like just no more than anyone else would.
Yeah.
You can guarantee that's been filmed on 50 camera phones.
Oh, yeah,
though,
yeah,
and because
yeah.
there was no charges, he can say he was victimised by the police
Yeah.
and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It's a weird time we live in, isn't it?
But he got de-arrested and they just fucking carried on as normal. The police just stood there and I'm like,
Yeah.
what is the point here?
Yeah.
What is the
Why are you there?
Yeah.
I started watching the Met. We talked
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it
yeah.
before, which follows the Metropolitan Police in London, and obviously it was filmed at a time where they were going through. They still are going through a rough time.
Shitheads.
But then you see that, and it's like I think there was a 14-year-old kid setting off fireworks, and someone said he might have a knife. So the cops went in heavy-handed
Yeah.
and searched him. Everyone's filming it, going, "He's a little kid, bro. He's a little kid." And it's like, he's a little kid, and I think he didn't have anything on him, and they let him go.
Yeah, they
But
said,
with
he might,
knife
have,
crime
said he
being-
might have a gun or a knife, is
Yeah.
what it was. And then that other kid dips in. So I'm like, there's 10 of you for one
Yeah,
little
yeah.
14-year-old. And I'm like, you mind your own business, mate.
Yeah, but you also
Should've said,
don't know.
throw him in the van.
Because a lot of these kids that are stabbing each other are 14-year-olds and
correct.
15-year-olds
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
They
16-year-olds.
didn't know the backstory.
Yeah, and you've got to be over. I mean, it's not like they're shoving guns in the guy's face, is it? They're just going in heavy-handed because it's like we don't know. And then
If there's reports of firearms or knives being used, then they can't just go and pussyfooting around, can they?
Excuse me,
Tiptoe
have you,
around it. Hey, you don't
yeah.
mind me having a quick search of you, do you? You've got to get in there and.
Yeah, I watched
you
them.
know,
I was
get
watching the
under
Met.
control.
I was watching the Met last night, and
Yeah.
one of them, they were arresting a guy, and they went, "Is that okay?" Just grab him. They're doing him for assault, and they said to him, "We're going to arrest you now. Is that okay?" No.
yeah, no, I don't want to be arrested today. How dare you?
Just-
Bye.
and that's what I'm saying. The world's just gone like crazy that I'm looking at like people's opinions on stuff, and I'm like, and I get everyone's entitled to an opinion, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know, and it's one of them where you go, it's your opinion, that's great. You
Yeah.
know, and I'll take your opinion for what it is. I might laugh at it, or I might go, it's a great opinion.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. And then I even watched like things like Question Time where the politicians were getting roasted by a really good. We had a conversation about it.
Yeah.
Really good journalist, and I'm just watching stuff. And I'm just like, I don't know what it is now. Is it fucking time to like just go and live in Australia or New Zealand and fuck it all off?
Yeah.
I just wonder if we do live in a simulation and someone's just, as a joke, just turned everything up to 11, and then I'm just going to see how long these people last. You know, you've got a prime minister that can't use a hammer.
Did I send you the article I read the other day about the guy who's I don't know if it was one or two of them. I think it was two guys. Did I send it to you?
I'm not sure.
No, they got they took a delivery driver hostage, and then threatened the police with guns and knives, and said, "If you come in, we're gonna turn you in," sort of thing. And they threatened him. You know what the threat was over?
What?
His food was cold his chicken kebab was cold when it arrived, and they forgot his salad. They held him hostage for an hour.
Wow. I mean, after 10 pints, you can understand it, can't you? Or you need a collab.
Did you see?
I said to my kids, I went, "See, you think I'm angry?
Yeah.
That's angry."
Did you see the female delivery driver in the States that refused to deliver the food because she wasn't tipped?
I've
Really?
seen that in the door. I've seen it. Is it a ring doorbell footage?
She gets to the door with the food, and then she says, "Where's my tip?" And they say, "That's pretty inappropriate of you to ask. Give me the food."
Where was this?
In the States,
It was in the
I'm
States.
not
I
sure
saw it,
exactly
yeah, I
where.
saw it, yeah.
And she just refused to give him the food and left.
How bizarre.
It's like, I know there's a tipping culture and stuff, but I think that I don't know how it works with tipping your
Delivery
Uber Eats
driver,
drivers or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
But still, that's, you know, I've ordered the food, I've paid for the
Yeah.
food, you give me the food, otherwise you're a thief.
Yeah, you normally tip
You've
your
nicked my
drivers
food.
anyways, you know, give them a couple of quid or whatever, or a few dollars or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, depending
Yeah.
on what they're delivering.
I mean, over here, sometimes if you get delivery, it's included in the price, isn't it? They'll just.
It can be, yeah.
They'll charge you a couple of quid or whatever. So, you know, it's fair enough, isn't it? But.
Yeah, but the ones for me, I have to go down to the fucking ground floor now to meet them. They won't come
Yeah.
up they won't come in the building anymore and come up in the
right.
escalator in the lift.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So I'm like,
They
I'm
probably
doing-
had some
I'm
Karen
meeting-
going, you don't
meeting
live
you
here.
fucking
You should
halfway.
be like, "Where's my tip?"
Yeah,
I'm
meeting you
doing a
halfway.
job for you.
But again, even going through all this, even the people that live in our building, they're all in this group where they all complain. I left it. I fucking can't be on it. They're doing me head
Yeah.
in. And it's complaining about nothing.
Yeah.
The code for the gate. It's the delivery drivers have it now. People can come in. And I'm
Yeah.
like, there's a fucking gap next to the gate about that big. They can just walk in anyway. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
hardly secure.
Yeah, that's always, I think, if you get neighbours together in some sort of way, you mobilise them, it's always going to be that.
Yeah.
It's like, so-and-so put the wrong bins out the other day. It's like,
some guy's parked his car in a visitor spot.
Yeah.
Right? And everyone's moaning that he's parked his car in the visitor spot. The visitor spots are always empty. So it fucking doesn't matter
Yeah, but
whether there's a
what-
car there or not. There's still other ones you can go
But
and
what
park
if
in.
I decided to have visitors that
I know,
day, which
that's
I
what it
didn't?
is. I know. I know.
Man.
Yeah.
People
Just
moaning
needs to
about
get a life,
shit.
don't
I
we?
know.
Just, you know.
I get wound up reading them. Even a guy come up to me yesterday when I was at the match and he went, "Stop getting so wound up." And I went, "It's in my nature."
Yeah.
I said, "I have to." Especially when I'm at the game, he went, "It's not
It's a
worth
football
it."
match.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've gone the other way a little bit.
I've done the football, you know, especially with some of the decisions that you have to
What we had yesterday, the one we had yesterday, right at the end of the game.
It was winding me up. I'm not even a seat.
Imagine what I was like. I stood up right in the middle of the bar. Went, if You waved on side. Play on.
I think you were probably a bit like Haaland.
I was going mental. I was actually going mental in the bar yesterday. Everyone must have been staring at me going, what's wrong with him? Because then after a while I just went, I better go to the bar. And then by this time half of them had emptied out because the game was over. Sort of thing. And I was just like, just sat there and everyone was just like looking around like dead quiet. The guy came over and went, stop getting so wound up. And I'm like, that's winding me up saying that.
Yeah, I've gone the other way a bit. I've become a bit apathetic. And I'm like, I just don't give a shit. You know, like things that happen, and I'm like, I just don't care. Like, I'm struggling to find emotions for that at the moment. I'm not going to get angry about it.
I know what you mean.
Don't care. There's too many people that going mad at the moment. The world wants you to go mad. That's what it is. It's like it's testing you constantly.
But sport and football does change slightly.
Sport's very different. Yeah, that's the only thing that gets me wound up.
Just pretty much let it by. I think, whatever. But it does wind you up a little bit. Gets your juices flowing. Doesn't it?
Some of the news that goes on, you're just thinking like, what the fuck? What are you thinking? What are people thinking?
Yeah.
There's some nutters in the world, absolute nutcases.
Everywhere.
I'm not sure there's more nutters now than there ever was. I just think the nutters have got more of a voice, and they're more likely. They're more likely to express their voice. Like the majority of normal people aren't posting Facebook statuses all the time nowadays, but the nutters are the ones posting 16 times a day, ranting about stuff.
The way I see it, it's like I said, I was talking to you guys before, and I said when you come back from a foreign country and you see how they behave and what they're up to in that foreign country, and you see how we behave at certain things. I'm not talking about anything to do with politics or anything like that. I'm talking about in general. So your everyday out and out guy, and then you see your everyday out and out guys over here, and you're thinking it's fucking night and day. Just come back from the USA, and I looked at it and I thought, I'm looking at people like cleaners in a mall. And the guy's going around, he's doing a proper job, he's emptying the bins, he's sweeping up, he's wiping tables.
Yeah.
And I come over here and see the guy over here walking 2 miles an hour. Don't know, he's getting paid more than this guy probably.
Yeah.
And I'm like, lazy bastard.
Yeah. Any food court in this country is disgusting.
Yeah, I know.
And you've got to clean the table yourself before you can sit down, if you can get somewhere to sit.
Yeah, it's a joke, isn't it?
And the ones I went to in the USA, spotless.
Yeah.
And you see the guy hustling around, and he's and you have time to talk to him, even, $10 here if they're cleaning. Finish with that. Yeah, that's $10. You know what I mean, sort of thing. I don't know if that's enough or not enough. I don't know.
Is that the benefit of tipping culture though?
No, that's just something I thought.
People are going to take more pride in their work.
I don't know if everyone tips or everyone throws a couple of dollars to the guy who cleans your table or comes over and stuff. I'm assuming people should. But when you're in a food court, we just passed him. We were walking through and we saw this like food court sort of thing. We jumped in to have a quick bite before we went to the game. And a guy come over and we finished and we just sat there talking. We said, we're ready to leave. And I was just about to pick it up and see if I could find a bin.
Yeah.
And the guy came over and went, you finished? Then I said, take these away for you. And I was like, yeah, okay. And he's packed them all up and put them in his trolley, sort of thing. And he was chatting away. It was nice. And just went, $10 or whatever it was.
Nice. Yeah.
The one that's always blown my mind is the people that spin the signs and flip them around and stuff. And it's like, anywhere, that's probably not the best job in the world, is it? Holding a sign to point people towards a used car lot or something. Then you get someone who like takes so much pride in it that they're spinning it, they're flipping it, they've learnt tricks. Like that wouldn't happen over here.
Oh, the closest you get over here I've seen, which is like, is when you got the football and they try and guide you into the car parks. Have you ever seen them guys?
Oh yeah.
Oh me.
Standing in the middle of the road.
And they're just going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For hours.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, come on, you're winding me up.
Yeah.
Makes sense. They should have them signs, shouldn't they?
They should have something,
of a performance. Some might think, I'll
I mean, I know it's not the most interesting job to do, and so like guiding people in.
Really.
But
that's why I appreciate it.
But even when you're walking down the street, when I was in the USA, like I say, it was clean. Everywhere was clean.
Yeah.
Streets were swept. It was just nice. It was just, everything looked sharp. When you come over here, there's leaves everywhere, the holes in the road.
I was just going to say, I bet you get potholes everywhere.
Not like I didn't see any, but not like anything. But even when there was roadworks on, there was people working on the roads. Everything was organised. It was
actually working on them.
Yeah.
I've had to drive a different way to do the school run for a week because for a month now they've had signs up saying between 29th of November and the 8th of December this road's closed due to filling potholes and stuff. And I drive round when I've got the kids so we're not late, just in case. And then I always risk it and drive that way when I go to work. It's not been closed once. No, but when I've got the kids and I've got to get them in school bang on time, I'm not going to risk it and I'm going to go the long way round.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, it's never closed. They're not fixing it. They've just put signs up to say, don't come down here.
There's one on the way to work for me where they do like, they're doing upgrades for the internet gets fiber optics or whatever. It's to put high-speed cable in or whatever.
Phone lines, isn't it?
Whatever it is, they're doing upgrading the phone lines.
So, yeah.
You want to see the speed they work. And there's always groups of people just stood around. Whatever time you go. And I'm like, don't even waste an absolute waste of time.
Yeah, just get the job done.
Yeah.
The amount of times you see roadworks over here, holes
Problem-
in the roads and no one
Yeah.
there. You just get
The
on
problem
with it.
we've done with migration is we've stopped visas for skilled workers, and we're replacing them with non-skilled people because
Yeah,
it's
which is the
cheaper.
complete opposite
Yeah.
of what the whole point is, isn't
Yeah.
it? You know, you have a system, a point system to allow skilled people in. That's what
Yeah.
Australia does.
Yeah,
Isn't
I
it?
know.
They do it
I
in
know.
the States as well, don't
Yeah.
they? We can't. You might be different because you did live there, but
Yeah.
we can't just move to the States, can we?
No, I
got
thought
to,
so.
you've
No,
got
no,
to
no,
pass a
to be
certain,
honest, but
you've got to pass a certain criteria.
yeah,
haven't
Australia
you?
certainly have
Yeah.
a point system.
Yeah,
Don't we? But are we
yeah.
more likely to get in there because it's a Commonwealth country?
I don't think so. I don't think it works like
No,
that.
Does
not
it not?
anymore.
I've known
Right, I
loads of
thought it
people
did.
emigrate to Australia, and you get sponsored. You've got to be there for a year or two.
Yeah.
You've
So
got
it's
to
the
do
same
your
across the
farm
board.
work.
You,
got
you
to-
don't get sort of priority because you're from the UK or
No.
anything. Or right, okay.
No, so if we were like Ash would get priority if she wanted to move to the States because she's from Zimbabwe.
But they go
And
on
have
the green card.
quotas
They have
for-
green card
right,
lottery, don't they, for quotas for that?
Yeah.
So you just
Right.
go in a green card lottery.
Yeah,
But yeah, we're not a part of that.
Yeah.
I don't know if we are now. We never used to be part of that deal. But you've got to be able to do a job that no other American can do, type thing.
Yeah. Oh, right,
You know, it's
okay.
not that's differentiates you from the rest.
I think
Yeah.
people justify it as content creators. You know, once you get to a certain level, because the brand is you and the business is you.
Yeah.
So you're seeing like Uncle Roger's moved to LA recently, and quite a lot of YouTubers moved to the States.
Yeah.
But they're probably financially doing very well.
Yeah, I
at
don't
the
think you
same
get
time.
golden. I don't know if
So-
the golden green card or the golden visa works there anymore. I'm not sure if you can pay. You know, like if you invest
Yeah.
a certain amount, you get a visa that comes with it. In certain states, I don't know. I don't know if it's still a thing. But there were certain countries that offered, like, if you put a certain amount of investment into that country, they'd give you residency,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Especially if
mate.
you're invested in the country.
Yeah, money
Yeah.
talks, doesn't it? If you want to
It
pay
does,
Then you
away.
yeah.
pay, make money, then you pay taxes
Money gets you
towards the
everywhere.
country as well.
Yeah.
So
Money gets you
it's
everywhere.
investment. Of course it does. It's
true.
Big thing.
Right then, we'll end on that bombshell that money actually opens up opportunities in life. Groundbreaking stuff.
Money makes the world go round is a phrase I've just coined.
Is it? I've never heard that before.
Coined.
You should get that.
You've coined as well. I've never heard that before.
You should trademark that and get some T-shirts done ASAP.
Might do,
because-
yeah. Sell them all for £1.50. We've had that someone
Oh,
before as
yeah.
well.
I'll never catch on.
Actually, I quite enjoyed this though. And should we make it a weekly thing and just do Talking Pants once a week?
I'm sure we can update everyone, can't we, on a regular basis as to what's happening.
Loads coming up. Loads of
Yeah.
activity coming up because we've got Christmas coming up. We've got big, massive football calendar coming up, which I'm going to
Yeah.
loads of games around the country.
That would be
for me.
huge.
I'm
Yeah.
busy. I'm
We could
busy
even
coming
we
up.
could even maybe get a little bit of when we're doing something interesting. We could always get a couple of clips on our phones and put it in while we talk about it or whatever.
Yeah. Good idea. Why
Yeah.
not?
Well, there you go. If you want to see that, I mean, let us know in the comment section.
Maybe go live on our Christmas party, the Office Blokes Christmas party.
We were talking about this last week, actually,
Yeah.
while you were off. Maybe doing a channel premiere on Christmas Eve where we do like, you know, Christmas with the Blokes, and you know, like we did that channel premiere last
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Do something like that.
It's just announced on Christmas Eve.
No, but it'd be channel premiere, so it's not a live.
Yeah.
It's done live,
Yeah.
but you know,
But we'll be in the chat, aren't we?
we'll be in the
Yeah.
chat like we did last time.
Yeah, the only problem is I'm not here. I'm away.
But that's fine.
Yeah,
We
I'll be
might
fine.
come in the chat.
We'll think of something.
I'll be on the piss somewhere.
Be at home drinking prosecco.
I won't.
Anyway, yeah, let us know if you want a sort of weekly update, us just talking pants and just having a laugh,
Yeah.
because it is actually quite fun, and it's
Yeah.
nice to keep interacting as much as possible.
Yeah, you get an insight to our life, what we do.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, there you go.
Indeed.
Right, and we'll catch you soon. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.